Hey, what up? This is Greg from Vented, and you are listening to the Dan Chan Show.
I've got Greg from Vented with me. How's things in a very cold, hungry Budapest today, mate?
Hey, what up, y'all? Thanks for having us, or especially me right now.
No worries.
Yeah, we are doing great, man. Thanks for your question. We are kind of busy right now because we just dropped our full-length debut album on Friday.
Yeah.
So since Fridays, everything is got busy. We have interviews, magazine reviews. So this is kind of busy days right now, but this is what we are searching for. So
Exactly.
we are stoked about it. We just stoked to hear all of you guys' reactions, and we've got a pretty warm welcome of the album. So we can't be more happy.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, I'm going to start you off because I wanted to start the way my questions are rolling. You've gone ahead there, and that's all cool. But you're here to talk about the band Vented, right? And now, without a show under your belt, which I don't believe you have done, is this a project or a band? What is it? Or a band? What is it? What do you call it?
You know, right now we are calling a project band.
Okay, that's good. Both words. That's fine.
Because we started as a project, you know. Back in the day, I had a project called Audio Nerve.
Yeah.
This is a project where I play feature guest musicians from all around the world. Back in the day, I have Nick Oshiro from Static X and a pretty bunch of guys from the scene.
Yeah.
And when I started to get to the work to the second record,
yeah.
I reached out to Sean because we met in Budapest while he is touring with Sinsanum, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was totally blown away about his voice, his stage presence, and he seems to be a really good buddy. So yeah. I reached out to him to do one or two songs for the project called Audio Nerve, and he really dig the songs, and I really dig what he did with my songs, and his vocal performance is just out of this world, man. One of the best vocalists I've ever worked. So after we finished 2 or 3 songs, we find out that we should do the whole record together.
Yeah.
And Sean's idea was to invite some other musicians and replace the drum machines with real drums, and just invite some other creative mind from all over the world.
Yeah.
And this is how I find myself with Jordison.
Yeah.
That
must have been a crazy situation, right? I
yeah,
mean, obviously getting him involved and him having an interest in it as well, and putting so much, emphasis and input into the band. Obviously, before his the tragic loss, shall we say? I mean, how was that?
Man, it was absolutely crazy because Sean playing music with Joey at Sinsanum, and Sean just showed a few demos to Joey, and he absolutely loved it. He just feel this raw power what the first 2 Slipknot record has got.
Yeah.
So he would like to join to us. He had a bunch of ideas about the song structures, lyrical themes, and especially he would like to change the name because he thought that Audio Nerve is too similar to Audio Slave.
Yeah.
And in the US, everybody is going to think about at first to Audio Slave. So we don't want to stick with this name anymore, and we just changed it to Vented, which came from Sean and Joey.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a perfect band name for me because I love the meaning. The meaning is probably what is all about our music. We just venting out the negative energy from our souls. So it seems to be the perfect band name. but we don't know at this time that the Slipknot kids.
Well, yeah, because that was my confusion at first, right? And
Yeah,
then obviously it's annoying, but the fact that it's got two Slipknot like connections is quite bizarre. You got Vended with,
I think
Corey
so.
Taylor's kid and Sean's kid in it, and then you got Vented with you guys and the Joey Jordison connection. What's the chances?
Yeah, it's insane, unbelievable, man. You know, it's a totally indirect way that that these two bands, without knowing each other, called the bands almost the same.
Yeah,
It,
crazy,
it's
crazy.
pretty crazy. You know, when we find out that the Slipknot kids has just debuted a band called Vended,
Mm.
we are just shocked, man. Sadly, at this point, Joey wasn't with
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
and Joey's collaboration for Vented is a really strong mark for us. So we just want to stick with this name and keeping his legacy,
of
and
course.
we don't want to change the Vented name because we love it, and it's so important to keep the world something what Joe created with us.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I fully understand it. So let's get back to the new Vented album, Cruelty and Corruption, which came out on the 16th last week. So I'm absolutely loving it, man. It's a great album. Everything about it is what I want to hear. And,
I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
to release an album so strong at the end of the year, you're just going to tip yourself into some album of the year categories. So let's, how are people taking it? And has anyone mentioned that yet?
Oh man, the welcome of the record is unbelievable. You know, when we started to drop the singles, we dropped four singles before the
Mm,
album release, and
yeah.
we saw that the reaction for the singles are just flawless, man.
Mm, mm,
We
mm.
just find out that people are still hungry for this old school type of
Yeah.
group metal
Yeah, of
because
course.
nobody really keep playing this music. You know, there is deathcore and
Mm,
kind of strange new metal
mm, mm.
gents in the scenes, but
What's your opinion of that? What do you think to that whole, the new movement of metal? How do you feel about that?
mm, you know, as I'm getting older, I more appreciate the 90s record and the early
you, you,
2000s.
you
What
tend to, don't you? I'm pretty much the same.
Yeah, but for sure, I saw a lot of energy in the new scene, which I really appreciated.
Of course.
But there's just a really few bands what really got my attention and keep me moving to
Mm,
go to see them on shows and listen at home. Because to be honest, I'm still listening home to Pantera, Slipknot,
yeah.
Slayer,
Mm,
some
yeah.
kind of this music. But I always like to support fresh blood. So
Of course.
if I see new energy, new honest energy, and bands who put a lot of work into their stuff, I always supporting them and try to support as much as I can.
For sure. Now let's get into the machinations of this album. How was the album written and the recording? Was it all done together? With you all being scattered around the world. You got Sean in Atlanta. You got Simon in the UK. You've got yourself in Hungary. How was the writing done? I assume it was all done over sending files on WhatsApp, etc. But was the recording done together, or was that done remotely as well?
Nope. You know, one good thing of the pandemic is is that album because most of the band stopped touring.
Yeah.
All the creative minds, all the creative musicians staying home, lacked with his ideas. They can't release their energy, and probably this is how Vented's born
Mm,
because I am not able to go on tour with my band Omega Diatribe. Sean is also at home because he can tour with Sinsanum. Austin for Devil Driver is taking a break with
mm.
Devil Driver for 2 years because there's a pandemic. So we find out that we have a bunch of time to just release the creativity what we have in mind.
Do you
And
think if it wasn't for the pandemic, Vented might not have happened, or?
I'm not saying this. I'm just saying like we have more time than
Right.
usual.
I see. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So we try to use this force, the time, and work as hard as we can. So I had almost all the songs written for the second Audio Nerve record,
Hmm.
which turned to the Vented debut album. But there's a lot of things change when Sean has laid down the vocals. We received Joey's ideas, and man, when Austin uh, recorded the final takes to the record on the drums,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to replayed some of the guitar tracks because he is a monster.
He's a
I,
great drummer.
I have to say Austin is one of the best and one of the most creative drummer I've ever worked.
Yeah.
So I can't be more happy about the drum takes of the record.
Yeah.
I'm just loving it.
Mm.
So back to your questions. All of us has a pretty well prepared home studio
Mm.
where we can record factory standard quality. So all of the takes has been recorded at the musician's home,
Yeah.
and we sent out all the material to our producer, who is a French guy.
Yeah. In
His
France. Yeah.
name is
Mm-hmm.
Svamakara Studio. He works with Sinsenu. This is where he knows Sean.
Yeah.
He also worked with Dagoba, Betraying the Martyrs. So we know that he is know what is the deal, and he knows how we would like to sound too. So we just send out all of the material to him to do as a whole album.
Yeah. And did Sean cover the lyrics? Did he do all the lyrics for all the tracks?
Yep.
Do you know the lyrical themes that run through the tracks? You obviously know what he was thinking about when he got, some awesome tracks on the album. And I'd like to know what he was writing about.
I'm happy you saying this. Sean is mostly writing about his feelings in life and what life brings to him, and he wrote a lot of lyrics that everybody can feel in their own way. This is a really strong vibe of Sean, because when he sent to me the lyrics, I just feel all the lyrics in my life in my way.
Really? Right.
So it's really frightening and awesome, and I really believe that most of the listeners can feel something in Sean's lyrics in their way, if you know what I mean.
Yes, of course. And I believe you wrote a track about the Squid Game as well, the Netflix show.
Yeah. Sean's written a song about Squid Game. Not really about Squid Game, but
themed. Yeah, loosely based. Yeah.
One of the biggest influential was the Squid Game to write the lyrics, and the song's called "The End Game."
End Game. Yeah. That's a great. What did you enjoy the Squid Game yourself? Incidentally,
I loved it, man. Sean just recommended to me, and I just watched the first episode with my wife, and we find out that we saw all the episodes in one night.
Yeah, it's easily done. So I think I was working in London at the time, and I remember watching it on the tube in and out of where I was working. It was like just watched it on my phone because I couldn't get enough of it. Any minute.
Yeah, it's really addictive.
So with that all in mind, obviously things like the Squid Game and Netflix, things like you could be watching together as a band. Do you feel like you miss out on the extracurricular activities that come with being in a band with the guys? The bonding, the beers, etc., etc. Because I don't suppose you've got together that many times.
Yeah. Probably I never met with Austin.
Oh, really? There you go.
I never met with Simon.
Yeah.
So this is really a fresh connection between us. But making music with people, just
talented people,
really strong connection between each other. And this is why I felt that Joey is a close person to me, because we are working on the same project. We just put our feelings, our deepest chamber of our soul to the music, and it just makes really strong connections between musicians, and it's pretty insane.
So with that all in mind, the touring thing, do you think that that's going to happen maybe in 2023? You might get some shows together. So obviously you've not you've not consummated the band as such. You've not gone on the road and done a show. How's that going to feel? What would a show be like for Vented? I can see it happening. It's got to happen.
I really hope, my friend, this is a thing for us. So we spoke about it a lot of time, but it's a pretty expensive deal to bring all of the musicians at Vented to play shows, but we are really looking forward to it. We just have to see the demand for the band, and what the reactions, what people needs. So we definitely would like to play shows, because you can hear and feel it that our music is really about the power, the energy. This kind of music is hit harder at live than the record.
Yeah.
So it would be flawless to play with this album live, but we'll see. It not depends on us.
I mean, I can see it being very difficult to schedule with all your other bands. You got them with Devil Driver involved, and they've got new stuff coming out and stuff like that. It's gonna be, if you're going to keep the band as it is, it's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's kind of fresh news, but Austin left the Devil Driver.
Did he? Oh, I didn't know that. Ah, right. Okay. Didn't know that.
Or something like this.
Oh, really? Right. I didn't know that.
The drummer already has a replacement drummer.
Right. Okay. Must have missed the memo on that one. Okay. So that's good then. So he's available.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So, the mask that Sean wears, right? Because it took me by surprise when I saw the video. For those that don't know, if you watch any videos from Vented, Sean, lead singer, actually wears this kind of like quite horrific mask. It reminded me of, like, do you remember Mortis from the 90s and noughties? Like, it's like Mortis's mask, but without the huge nose. It looks quite gruesome. So what was his decision to want to wear that?
The mask decision, or the mask idea is came pretty late to the game, because we almost have the whole album written when Sean just came up with this idea, and he's got a good friend, Kevin Strednap. He is an insane mask creator.
Yeah.
So he just copied Sean's full face with some kind of digital tricks, and he made the mask right to Sean's real face, and made it more grotesque.
Right, really.
I have diverse feelings about wearing a mask, but Sean's idea is to bring back the kind of Phantom of the Opera feeling, and really grotesque vibe of his own face with this mask.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks quite striking, especially when you're all like not normal, and then he's got this mask on. It's like, what the hell,
Yeah. When Sean flew here to Budapest to shot a few music videos, I just keep the mask in my hands, and it's top-notch quality. It's a piece of art,
Yeah, for sure.
And with the Vented logo in his forehead is just really speak for itself, and this, it looks really gross. So
it just like Leatherface or something like that,
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely looking forward to show the people on stage this mask, because
for sure, that'd be hot to wear. Now, for those who don't know, I believe you're an award-winning guitarist. Is that right? With interests with other bands, how did you start playing guitar? Who were your idols? And that guitar tone that you get is insane. Even as a non-guitarist, I know what I like, and it's pretty top-notch. So talk to me about your guitar history.
back in the day, I think I was around 10 years old when I started to play guitar. So I was pretty young, and I just find myself around at my age of 14 that probably this is all I want to do in this life. I want to build my life to playing music and playing on the guitar. So yeah, this is, I just feel in the first few years that I really find myself on playing guitars and playing music. And back in the day, I always searching to how I can play my ideas, not really how I can play another band's songs. I always wanted to write something what is in my head or in my soul.
Yeah.
So I was writing my own ideas pretty early.
Hmm.
So yeah, guitar playing is just means everything to me. It's a shelter for me, where I can completely free myself, free my mind, and this is one of my most joy in life.
Of course, of course, of course.
So, yeah, as I mentioned to the bands, my first idols was Mick Thompson from Slipknot,
Mm,
Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman,
mm,
and I always a big fan of Jimi Hendrix.
mm, mm.
It's a pretty other style than than the mentioned band, but Jimi Hendrix, Dimebag Darrell, these dudes are just killer,
Mm.
really rare creative minds.
Give us a quick update on the other bands that you're playing with. I mean, because you've got other projects and interests as well. So, what else is going on in your life?
I have a touring band called Omega Diatribe.
Yeah, yeah.
I am one of the founder member of this band with my good friend Akos. He's the bass player, and we created this band in 2008.
Yeah.
We just want to do, we had bands before, but nothing serious, and we've been always good friends, and we just know that we would like to do it seriously and make steps to be a touring band.
Mm.
This is right now my active band,
Yeah.
and beside of this, I'm doing studio works and mixing, mastering, producing smaller bands. So to be honest, my life is all about music.
Of course. You are the last guest on my show before Christmas, so I can't have you here without discussing the holiday season. What are you up to this year? What do you do for Christmas in Hungary?
This Christmas a bit different, like other Christmas, because we had to go to my wife's parents.
Uh-huh.
For sure, we go there every year, but his father is not really well these times, so
Uh-huh.
we just go there and give him some power and some
Yeah.
love.
Good. Yeah.
And, I will also
positive vibes.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's just other than that, it's just a regular Christmas. I'm going to meet with my mother, with grandmother, and my wife.
Nice. And what is a Hungarian Christmas like? Is it big, like throws of food, lots of drinking, or is it like a religious thing, or how is it?
Yeah, it's both.
Yeah. Yeah, both
There's
food and drink, yeah. Just not the church.
yeah, tons of food, tons of drinking, beer, wine, palinka, which is a traditional Hungarian drink. It's pretty strong. It's kind of like schnapps
Yeah. Nice.
in Austria. And yeah, most of the people are really religious here.
Mm.
most of the people are Christians, so there's a big Christian ceremony, going to the
Mm,
church, something
mm.
like this. This is not what I'm doing,
No,
but
you're wearing your new Vented t-shirt with that slogan on the back, aren't you?
yeah, yeah,
Which
it's
is tell us what it says on the back of the t-shirt.
should I say?
Say it.
It says "fuck your useless God."
Exactly. So we won't be going to any churches this holiday season, so that's good. And overall, how has 22 been for you? Has it been a good year?
Yeah, it's been exciting and good because we just released the Vented record, you know.
Mm,
So it's financially and at work, and there's tons of bad things, especially in Hungary, because we've got energy crisis here, you know.
yeah, of
So the
course. Yeah.
electricity and the gas prices are just insane,
Well,
insane.
that's everywhere, but you've got it worse, you know, where you're in your geographical position, you know, it's
Yeah,
everywhere.
definitely. We really sucked this situation because we are really depending on Russia too.
Mm,
I'm not going to say anything about political things because I don't involved in any kind
no,
in
sure.
political. I just hate this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Hungary, it's pretty hard times right now. But luckily, I have a stable job, and it's not too hard for me. For sure, the food price is just bombed, man. You
Mm,
know, so
mm,
it's pretty crazy. But we are living, we are happy, we are making
mm.
music,
That's right.
so everything is good.
That's right. And back to the music. Obviously, the last 52 weeks, we've had a bunch of new albums out, new music. Has anything been on heavy repeat for you? You know, have you been listening to any new music this year? I know you say you listen to your old 90s stuff like we all do, but has anything
Mhm.
pricked your ears in the last year?
Yeah, there is not a really fresh band, but kind of new ones in the scenes. They called Kublai Khan. They
Yeah.
from Texas.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful hardcore metal band, man. I just feel the rawness and the old school vibe like in the 90s on their music, and I just became a fan of them.
Hmm.
So they just released the new EP this year, and I'm it's on repeat. It's on repeat on my
I'll
house, you
have to
know.
check that one out. Yep. Okay. Anything else?
I just bought the new Slipknot record, but it's kind of meh for me. I
Yeah.
just find out that two or maximum three songs working on the record,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I'm just getting older, or what's happening,
More
but
skeptical. We do that.
yeah, but then I have to say the first Slipknot record is just changed my life.
Yeah.
One of my biggest influence ever.
Mm.
And Slipknot was always when they release something new, I just feel this childish interest, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always find good songs on the record, but in this new one, maybe a few years later, but right now it's not really working for me, sadly.
Mm. And sad that happens to a lot of bands. Do you have any guilty pleasures in music? Anything that is not metal that you listen to?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm listening to a lot of other genres. I'm not really saying guilty pleasure because
You enjoy
I
it, right?
yeah, I don't have a shame to listen any other music like metal. So
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of old school drum and bass music in
Yeah, me
the
too. Yeah.
analog
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and I also like psychedelic dub, and
Right. Okay.
I also love reggae too, dub
Mm.
reggae. So
So finally, what track from the album should I play next and why?
hmm, I have to say a new trend.
Yeah. Why?
It's a really heavy one, and
Oh, I know. But why
Sean
that track?
Sean is singing about this new plague called social media, and this this bullshit what's happening with the younger generation, and it's a really powerful meaning with so powerful riffs. So I highly recommend it for all of the metal heads who likes this kind of heavy style what we're playing.
Awesome. That is coming up next. Listen, Greg, thanks so much for joining me on the Dan Chan Show. Good luck with Vented and all your other bands, and obviously for 2023, and a very Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Thanks, man. I wish the same to you, and thanks for having me, and peace out.